Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the episode of Connecting with Jenna Hamawi. This is the episode number 22. And my name is Sam Lee, and I'm the founder of Connect with Confidence, and I'm the interviewer interviewing Jenna. How are you today, Jenna?
I'm good, thanks, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. What's been happening?
Not much. Just working on those acquisitions, funding a few projects, and yeah.
That's great. You have any plans over the weekend?
Yes, actually, my husband's friend is getting married, so we'll be going to a wedding. And other than that, just focusing on my little girl.
That's great. Nice. That sounds interesting. I guess in these times when you have a wedding, it sounds a little bit exciting because
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
How about you, Sam? What are your plans?
My plans. I'm just gonna focus on myself, do a little bit of work, and then play some basketball, get fit. This is the only time I get myself to do some exercise. Other than that, weekdays work. And like this, I'm just looking forward to my basketball game. Have a grand final soon, and hopefully we win the trophy.
Luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, so tell me a bit about yourself. What do you like doing, Jenna, outside of work? Like, what are your hobbies and passions? What do you like doing?
I mean, to be brutally honest, my whole week is obviously comprised of business. So
Okay.
my daughter is cared for during the week.
Yep.
Any spare time I have, I like to allocate to her. I guess my only outlet though is going for walks. Like that's my only thing that I kind of really have for myself at the moment, which is understandable with a toddler.
Yep.
But yeah, so not really too much time for hobbies. Just
Well, what do you like? What do you usually like doing beforehand? Like, what do you?
I kind of forgot, to be honest with you. I don't know. I like. I said I have been saying that I want to get back into tennis.
Yeah.
But again, it's all in good time. And I was like, I live quite close to a golf course, so I'm like, I could get back into golfing as well.
Yep.
But again, it's just getting the time and actually getting into it and then committing to it. Yeah.
That's great. How old is your daughter?
She is 2.
2. Oh, okay. Pretty newborn.
Yeah, kind of.
Is she keeping you busy?
Pardon?
Is she keeping you busy?
Oh, certainly. She's transitioned out of the cot.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how early she woke up in the morning.
Yep.
So certainly earlier starts for us, but again, it's better because it increases my business hours and a little bit of time with her in the mornings before she goes off to kindy.
Oh, okay. That's great. So she's in kindy at the moment.
Yeah, preschool.
Oh, preschool. That sounds fun. Yeah, I guess that's great. Yeah. So tell me about your business. So what are you like doing? So you're a development finance broker.
Yes, that's correct. So I work with property developers nationwide, and we fund projects up to $250 million.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot. Like 95% of what the business does is around the development space, but we also tiptoe into the commercial funding element of things as well. So we fund commercial premises, whether that be owner-occupied or investment, business acquisitions, raising capital, things like that. Anything that kind of transacts under an organisation is what we deal with.
Ah, that's great. And how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it full time since February. Prior to that, I was working with a group of brokers managing their compliance. So that was predominantly in the residential space.
Yep.
And I was keeping the accounts for a couple of developments as well. So just AP, AR, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that sounds great. And what led you? So this is you started this business yourself, or did you?
Yes.
Start with? Okay.
Yes. So I started the business myself. It came into my head, like the vision came in December of last year.
Yep.
So that's when I registered my business name. And then I decided in February that it was time to take on everything full time and obviously focus on business acquisitions, networking in my industry. And just focusing on my ventures full time as opposed to focusing on other people's ventures. yeah, so that's how we went out, and that's when I started. So the organization is obviously in its infancy. There's still a long way to go, but yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And what led you to the decision to start this business itself?
Well, basically, I was doing everything for everyone else. So I just sat there and I was like, why don't I do it for me? It just seems like the right thing to do, especially being a mum as well. I was like, do I want to build something for myself and my family, or do I want to continue to build something for other people? So I guess that was a major kind of contributor to my decision. Obviously, my child is a major ambition for me, for my business. Why did I go into development finance? I didn't really have interest in much else for my business. So I didn't want to be a mortgage broker. I didn't want to be another one in a major field of people. I did quite a bit of research in the commercial space and saw that it was kind of underserviced, especially from a female perspective. So it's predominantly mature-aged males that are in the industry, and there wasn't too much of a community of female commercial brokers. Now, ever since I was young, I always wanted to have some kind of involvement in development. So I was like, you know what? I'll be the finance side of things. That's my way to get into the industry. And yeah, who knows, in 5 years, I might be doing my own developments.
That's great. I guess when you have that background, it lets you go into this kind of bigger investments. Like you're dealing with bigger numbers, especially $250 million.
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of people, they come to me, they're like, you can get $250 million. I'm like, don't let the numbers scare you. Like, if we need to, we can get you more, that's fine. But if we're on a smaller scale project, don't worry about those numbers. Don't let them scare you. We'll work on what we need to do for you, and you leave those numbers to the other guys. But that might be you in 5 to 10 years' time.
Great, that's great, nice. And is it normally your project, your clients, do they normally go up to $250 million, or what's the average amount?
Average, it varies significantly. So I deal with developers that are newer to industry, so their projects are kind of like duplexes or smaller townhouse projects. We're looking anywhere between 1 and 2 mil.
Oh, okay.
Then we go into the guys where they deal with more so 9 to 11 townhouse projects or smaller boutique apartment complexes, where we're looking around anywhere between 5 mil upwards to 8. And then we have the big guys, and they do like 200 like 200 dwelling complexes. So we're looking anywhere between like, say, 60 mil plus.
Wow.
So it varies significantly based on the developer and their experience and how long they've been in the industry and the projects that they work on. And yeah.
That's great. And do you get nervous when you do all these big numbers for clients?
No. So when I first went into business, I guess you could say I was shy because it was my first ever time being in business. That faded out in a week. When you're dealing with the same clientele constantly, there's no fear of the numbers. At the end of the day, they are just numbers, and it's nothing to be frightened of. These are just the capacities that we transact at.
Oh, okay, that's great. Nice. So I got a referral from Diane. So tell me about how do you know her?
Well, I know Diane through common networks. So Diane works in the commercial space, and she educates people around how to save money and how to be strategic with investments and how to diversify their portfolio. So I guess, it was inevitable that we were going to meet. We connected through LinkedIn, and then we found out we were in a couple of similar networks. So we've been in contact ever since.
Oh, that's great. I guess LinkedIn connects a lot with anyone.
Such a powerful platform. Like, I get probably 90% of my business through LinkedIn.
Oh, really?
And then the rest is just referred on from the people that I met through LinkedIn.
Wow. Yeah, LinkedIn is very good for business, I guess, in terms of if you're doing property as well. Like, I guess you're connected for a wide variety of people.
Of course.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so where are you from originally, Jenna? So are you born in Australia yourself?
Yeah. I'm Australian born. So I've kind of lived in the same probably 15-kilometer radius my entire life. I haven't ever ventured out. I was like, oh, if it's half an hour away, I don't think I can do it, because once I'm there, I don't want to have to travel to see people. And everyone lives where I live. So yeah, I've born and raised in the same suburbs.
In Sydney?
Yeah, so Sydney. I'm on the borderline of the St. George area and Sutherland Shire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, that's great. Nice. That's great. Yeah, and so what do you like? So how do you normally build? So this leads me to the next question. How do you build better relationships with your clients and your counterparts? Like, what's the secret? Can you tell us some people skills that you're good at?
Some people skills.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how do you build a good rapport with people? How do you build better relationships? Because ultimately, what this interview is really about me connecting with you. And and when I normally ask people, how do you build better relationships with people? That's what I guess it's really all about.
Yeah. Okay. I think for me, the most important thing with maintaining a relationship is 150% transparency.
Yep.
If you're not transparent up front,
yep,
that's it. It's not going to work. Sometimes what I tell you, you're not going to like. But it is what it is. This is what you're dealing with. This is what I will do for you. And a lot of people, they appreciate that. How do I instigate relationships? I don't know. I just see someone, they're a good business opportunity.
Yep.
They're a good associate to have.
Yep.
And I just introduce myself. Hey, I'm Jenna. How are you? We work in similar areas. Let's connect. And a lot of the time I end up meeting these people and the relationship is good moving forward. I think a lot of it is because of my transparency. And yeah, people appreciate my service because I execute everything. I'm very systematic and I'm very results driven. So I'm like, come on guys, let's just go. There's no point in prolonging anything.
That's great. I guess, yeah, transparency, I guess, is what you said. It's good to be upfront with, so you guys can, I guess, communicate at a deep level. It's good to be transparent in terms of when you're doing business, especially when you're in the property area.
Of course.
So before to being a property developer, finance broker, what did you do before this? Like, what were your jobs before that?
Okay, so I was a compliance manager for mortgage brokers. So that's when I started working alongside a number of mortgage brokers. A lot of them were property developers themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, prior to going into mortgages, I was a bookkeeper.
Yep.
So they were like, okay, she's a bookkeeper. She can manage the accounts for the developments.
Yep.
Yeah. I worked for a major scaffolding company. They're quite large here in Sydney. They're called Synergy Scaffolding Services.
Yep.
And they were moving probably 50 minutes away because there was no warehouses here that could hold the capacity of the business. They were just too small. So they had to go out quite far, but I wasn't prepared to go that far with them. And it was an associate of theirs who was a mortgage broker and builder, developer. And that's how I landed into the mortgage field. Prior to that, just bookkeeping. So from the age of 19, I got into bookkeeping. And then prior to that, I was just in your small casual jobs in the hospitality space.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So you're always in the numbers field.
Yeah, always been in finance. When I was 16, I think it was 16 or 17, I studied real estate.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent and I'm going to work exclusively with property developers and I'm going to sell off all of their apartments and I'll offer them a lower fee because obviously high transactional, low fee. And then I guess because I was so young, I was just like, you know what, this isn't it for me right now. Landed into finance, landed into mortgages, tiptoed in development. So it's all a building puzzle. It's all the domino effect kind of to get me to where I am today.
Yeah, I guess from low to high, I guess.
Yes.
Ultimately, that's where you want to be in property. That's because that's where you earn the big numbers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. That's great. That's cool. That's great. So yeah, Jenna, do you have any questions for me, or that's pretty much it? I should be the interviewer.
Do you want me to ask you anything? Do you have any questions you would like me to ask?
No,
Yeah.
Just checking, see if you had any questions, curiosity. But other than that, yeah. How do we find more about you, Jenna?
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send you all my links. I'll get you to link my website down. You can, alternatively, you can connect with me on LinkedIn because I'm very active on there. And yeah, I've also put a guide together for developers that are newer to the industry and don't really understand the terminology and the concepts behind funding. I'll put the link down as well. So if anyone wants to access it, they have access to that.
Yeah. That sounds great. So can you tell me, like, do you memorize your website?
Yes. So it's Finxec, www.finxec, finxec.com.au.
Sounds great. That's good. And how about LinkedIn? How do we find
Jenna Hamawi.
Jenny, just type in your name, Jenna Hamawi.
Yeah, so Jenna Lee Hamawi.
Jenna Lee.
So I have a hyphenated name.
Oh, okay.
Jenna Lee, but everyone calls me Jenna.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to have Jenna Lee.
Easier that way.
Yeah, exactly. And then a lot of people think I'm Chinese. They're like, "Oh, Jenna Lee, are you Chinese?" I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, Lee's a very common Chinese name, but I guess yeah, it's different. But when you see in real life, you're not Chinese.
Yeah, but fun fact, actually, when I was younger and I was applying for positions, they were like, "Oh, we thought you were Chinese." So it got me into a lot of opportunities because of people like hiring from that ethnicity. So it gave me a boost in a way, which was good.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I guess when you have different names, it's I guess some people just presume you're that kind of person already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where do you normally take your daughter?
My daughter, okay, she loves the park, so we're at the park a lot. Now with the weather warming up, we've started taking her swimming. Now she was one last summer and the bushfires. So she missed out on an entire summer where she couldn't go and swim because I was afraid to take her out of the house because of smoke inhalation. So this is her first time experiencing water, like in pools and in the beach, but she's slowly getting into it. She's also likes to play soccer. Now, she's got this really good technique, like she dribbles the ball the whole time and doesn't miss. I think she tripped over the ball once. And we were like amazed. We're like, we don't know where you pick it up from because we didn't teach her. And she loves colouring in, so she does a lot of colouring in as well.
Looks very talented. I guess it's naturally born, especially from you, I guess. Were you the same before when you were young?
No, so that was the one sport I didn't do. I didn't do soccer. I attempted it and failed miserably. I did netball. I did nippers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with nippers. It's like water sports.
Okay.
On the beach. What else did I do? I did tennis, golf, and I did a lot of dancing. So when I was younger, I was in a lot of dance classes. And then I actually taught a dance class at the age of 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I kind of just grew out of it as I went into high school. I just became a typical teenager. Just wanted to hang out with my friends on the weekends. So I kind of dropped off all of my out of school commitments.
Talk about talent. That's very cool.
Yes. How about you, Sam?
Yeah, I guess you mean in terms of
Yeah, like what did you do growing up? What sports did you do?
I
You
did.
do basketball.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of basketball. I like fishing as well. Sometimes I do fishing. Before I used to do a lot of fishing with my family. And then yeah, I guess I used to play bit of badminton. But
Mhm.
yeah, growing up, I guess I followed my brother's footsteps. So he originally got into basketball first, and that's how I got into basketball. Ever since when I was high school, I guess. And then other than that, yeah, I used to just just play for fun soccer when I was in primary school, and then yeah, got my way up to basketball. So yeah, I guess there's something to do, something like if I'm passionate about it, I'll just keep going and doing it myself. So yeah,
Lovely. And it keeps you fit, which is good. And
yeah,
it's because you get to communicate with people outside of work, which
hmm
it's healthy to make sure that you have the relationships out of business as well.
yeah, correct. So do you do any exercise yourself?
Nah.
You just naturally
I
fit
just
yourself.
walk. I love walking. I don't
Uh,
really do much else. I attempted the gym
yeah,
and then I get into it for maybe like 3 weeks and then I'm just like
you
I
lost
get sick or something happens and then I'm just like it never happens again. And then a year will pass on and it's the same thing. So I probably do about 3 weeks of gym a year.
mm,
Um,
2 weeks of gym. Okay, that's 3 out of 52 weeks, so that's probably a couple of percent.
nothing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, other than that, I'm kind of just walking.
Mm.
I don't really do
Mm.
any other
I
activities.
guess I guess you don't really need to when you're naturally fit yourself. That's great.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm very jealous of that sometimes. So yeah, there's some of my friends they just like they could have good metabolism. No matter how much they eat, there's like this stay in shape. I wonder what's the secret behind that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like that when I was younger. I could put whatever I wanted into my body and
Yeah.
however much of it I wanted. And now I'm a little bit like, okay, I can see it. My mother has this saying, minutes on your lips, inches on your hips.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I would eat anything bad, my mum would say, minutes on your lips, inches on your hips. I'm like, now, obviously I'm older, my metabolism slowed down. I've had a child, so my body's changed.
Yeah.
Um, so when I eat something bad, I'm like, oh, like what's it doing to my body? I'm certainly not as resilient as I was
Yeah.
younger, but I'm okay.
Mm. That's great. Nice. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much towards the end of the questions that I want to ask you. Because yeah, the flow of questions was I asked you more than questions than before. But yeah, like viewers, you know how to connect with Jenna Lee Moai. I added the Lee now. So if you want to find out more about her, go to her website, connect her with her through LinkedIn, and you know how to connect with her. She's a smart individual. So yeah, Jenna, I had a great time interviewing you, and I hope you all the best for your future career.
Same to you. Lovely chatting. Enjoy your weekend, Sam, and good luck for this weekend.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I hope you have a good weekend and enjoy with your time with your daughter.
I will.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Sam.
All right. No worries, Jenna. Nice speaking to you, and I'll talk to you, and I'll put all these in. I'll upload this probably next week, and then I'll let you know once it's been uploaded.
Fantastic.
All right. No worries then. Jenna, have a good time, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.